Just now I started in the recording, the voice is there just now, okay? It was not there for first 6 minutes. Okay? What we are doing? We are taking the internal audit reports and we are taking the audit evidence, and subsequently we will test, see whether controls are in place or not. Okay? Listen carefully. Controls are in place or not. Controls will be there in the paper, but controls are working or not, that is our job. That is the job of the auditor, to know that controls are effective. That concept, that procedure is called as test of controls. When you do the things, definitely we will have, is that revenue, all those things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Is it? No. This one will be there all through the time. Is it right? We are talking everywhere. We will, every other chapter we will plan, every other chapter every other question we will understand the entity. Now you can have very clear idea. Is that you have very clear, any question they are giving the question in the section A, or they are giving the question in section B, they will give you a brief understanding about the entity. What is the business they are doing? By first, that is very important. The moment you understand the business, the procedures will be easy. Subsequently, we are talking about we will assess the risk, whether the risk is high or whether risk is low. Based on that, we will what we will evaluate? We evaluate the controls. Is it right? If the controls, test of controls. If the controls are satisfactory, well and good, nothing is there. If the controls are not satisfactory, what we are doing? We are arriving at this, and most of the time we are arriving at this only. We are not concerned about restricted procedures. You will not find a single question related to restricted procedures. Okay? And other things, this we will take at a later stage. Okay? This we will take at a later stage. How we are going to review it, how we are going to report it. Is it? And now what we are doing? We identify the deficiencies, and what we'll give? We are going to give some recommendations. identify the deficiencies, what are the implications, is it right? What are the implications and what are the recommendations? I am now talking very exclusively this month only and only from examination point of view. Only and only examination point of view. Focus on that. Now, we will do this at a stage by stage. How the first we will talk about sales. Is it? When we talk about the sales, see the things. What is the first thing that happens? You just see. I will make it a point. You are just going, is it McDonald's? Is it McDonald's? You are just going to a drive-through. Okay? Your car is there. You will stop. The first point, is it right? They will take the orders. They will document the orders. They will take the printout. They will make the order. Third stage, is it right? They will transform. Is that here? It is a you are driving through. Here you will stop and you will place the order. Is it right? What will happen? This is the back end. They will document it. Is it right? They will document it at the back end. They will make the order. They raise the dispatch note. Got my point? Yes, you have to deliver to these people. See the things. We are here placing the order. Here there is a cashier. Here there is a delivery. Understand this process. You understand all the things very, very easily. They will dispatch it. They will raise the invoice. At that point of time, you will account the invoice. Fine. In everything happens. Keep it in mind. Everything happens at the back end. Isn't it? They will send the statement to the records. Definitely, they will take payments from you. One person is doing this. Got my point? Only one person is doing this. But this person is doing multiple tasks. Don't say that we don't have segregation of duties. That is not coming at this point of time. Is it? You will chase the payments. You will dispatch it, the invoice, and ultimately what will happen? You are receiving the payment. In this process, this is the point where we are talking in terms of delivery. This is the best example, and this is the one example we can understand how we are talking in terms of drive-through. Is it right? Drive-through is there. This is where the sales will work. This is the simple procedure. There is no complication at all. There is no complication at all. Understand, whatever you are doing, whichever place the sales is existing. Either the sales existed here, the sales existed in the car, buying and selling, the sales existed in the retail stores, is it? The sale anywhere, any activity, any transaction, the sales process will be the same. Is it? First you have to take the orders, then you have to document the orders, you have to make the order, you have to raise the dispatch note. What will happen? This is going to happen. This is 4A. Raise the invoice. Simultaneous 4B. This is 5. Is it? This is 5A and this is 5B. It will come to 6. And ultimately what will happen? You are closing that deal as such. Any error, any mistake, material misstatements, you can identify at any point of time. Understand? Any material misstatement. Are you clear about this? You understand this graph, this picture, you will understand everything. Is it clear? Aisha, Maita and Faiza.
Yes, clear.
Fine. Now that's all is happening. What we are doing. See, occur. First it has to occur. Is it right? First and foremost, there should be occurrence. To ensure that one person is not responsible for taking orders, recording sales and receiving payments. There what we are doing, we are talking in terms of very clearly what is the control. Control is in terms of segregation of duties. Listen carefully. Today, class to class, revise on daily basis. Every day you allocate 2 hours from today apart from class. Inshallah. Segregation of duties. One person should take orders, one person should record sales, one person should receive payments. What is the test of control? What you are doing, you have to observe. You have to observe physically. That's very important. Is it right? To observe. The moment you are writing the answer in this type of things, you should start the sentence with this one. To observe and evaluate. This is the answer what we are writing. We have to write. Got my point? To observe and evaluate whether proper segregation of duties is operating. Very important. Is that this is what we are asking. They are not asking anything. They don't ask. They are not asking details. They are asking what to do, or how we have to make a test of control. Control is one person should not take. 3 different people should take. One person should take orders. One person should record it. One person should receive payments. Segregation of duties. You have to observe and evaluate the proper segregation of duties. Fine. Now, what it says, the second point is that I will put this one. Is it right? I will put. Where is that? Yeah. Is that? This is the first point in sales. Assertions. What is the second one? In terms of existence, to ensure recorded sale transactions represents the goods or services provided. When you are taking the order, is it right? When you are taking the order, the back end, the order has to be in place. I will tell you this. During summer, during peak summer, you will go to McDonald's drive-through. You ask for ice cream. They say that no, ice cream is not ready. It will take time. Sometimes it is not there. They will not take the order. They will not take the order. In not only there, wherever it's possible. Sometimes you will ordering the things. You call. Nowadays it's a very simple now. You call some place to order food. Definitely they will say, yes, these are the things. No, this thing is not there, this is there, this is not there, this is not. If the order is ready, it's available with them, they will accept the order. If it is not there, they will not accept the order. Either in terms of order or in terms of services. To ensure that the sales transaction represents goods and services. What is the rule? What is the control you are doing to ensure? Is that on the previous case we are observing, here we are ensuring, we are very assertive. Is it assertions? Is that we are assertive, we are asserting, yes, it is there or not. It says that sales are only recorded if there is a approved sales order form. Sales will be there only when there is a documentation. Sales dispatch is there, then only you can proceed with sales. If there is no documentation, if there is no order, definitely, is it right? I will do the same thing. I will tell you the things. McDonald's 1, 2, 3. If you are ordering and there is no documentation here, is that right? There is no documentation here, the person will not deliver, because the moment he take the order, there will be a screen here. You observe next time this, you will remember me. You will have the screen in front of the salespersons, 1, 2, 3. Automatically it will be reflected on the screen. The person what will do? The person will make the order as per the requirements. Accounting for numerical sequence of invoices. The invoices should be system generated. The invoices are system generated. It's not manual, no manual intervention. Monthly customer relation statements sent out and customer queries and complaints handled independently. Is a monthly customer service. Take the example, banks. Is that banks? Everyone is having bank account. At the end of the month, you will get a bank account. You are not seeing it, you are not opening it, that mail, that's a different case. Okay? You are not open. Most of the people will not open. Is it right? That is not the case. But they have to send the statements to the customers. That is the control. Because tomorrow, if there is any query, the customer will come to your place after 2 months, 3 months. You should be in a position. You have to be very, I'm not saying defensive, you have to be very assertive. You have to say that already I have sent my statement in the month of July. You have not verified it. You have not reconciled it. Now this is the month of November. How can I go back? That is the reason whenever there are sales transactions. Because why it's important? Sales will lead to receivables. And receivables will lead to cash. I told you, every time there should be a monthly reconciliation. What we are doing? We are going to have control totals. We have done yesterday. Is that? We have done. That is the reason. Theory we have to be very, very good. Control totals. We have control. What we are doing? We are not only doing control totals. We are doing what? We are doing batch totals. We are talking about control accounts. Is that? Control accounts. Each customer. That is the reason. Is it right? First you have to have a documentation. Sales order. Against the documentation you have to do. You have to have numbers sequentially numbering. And you have to make a monthly statement. They will not ask you all. They will ask you any one. You have to write any one. They will not ask you. Sorry to say. They will not ask you. You have to write whichever you find related to that. What is the test of control? Once you are talking in terms of, test of controls is nothing but, it is the reflection of this. Very simple. It is the reflection of this. It is the reflection of this. Fine. That's only. When you are saying control for the sales order form and control, what you have to do as an auditor, you have to have a sample of sales invoices to ensure that there is a sales order form is there and there is a authorization. For a sample of sales invoices, you have to write like this. For a sample, this is the test of control. For a sample of sales invoices, ensure that the sales order form has been authorized. Done. What we are doing? We are talking about whether, now what happens? For this, there is an application control. For whom? Whoever is authorizing. Got my point? Whoever is authorizing, one person will prepare, one person will record, one person will dispatch. They always make it a point, there should be an authorization. I am very slow here because next, once you understand this, next things will be a piece of cake for you. Next, what is the second point? They say that, yes, here it is the second one. Is it right? I have, is it right? This is the second one. Okay? This is for the first one. What is the second one? They say, it says that, is it right? You say now numerical sequence. See the things. Review and test the procedure. Review and test account procedures for numerical sequence of invoices. Means whatever you are writing in control, that has to be reflected in test of control only. Students are not successful because they don't know this thing. Literally, they don't know. They tried some control will be there, some test of control will be there. No. What you are doing in control, in the same thing, there should be a test of control. Means you have to review what? You have to review numerical sequence. We are talking in terms of this is for this, okay? This is for this. Is that? Now, if you are paying, you are sending monthly customer reports, is that? Review the procedure for sending monthly statements. You have to review, that's all, whether yes, it is there or not, whether the company is dealing with the queries and complaints or not. Fine. This is the way you have to identify. Next. What is the occurrence and existence? To ensure that goods and services are only supplied to the customer with good credit ratings. Is it very important? Is it that yesterday we have done it? Not yesterday, somewhere down, somewhere back. Is it right? What we are doing? We have the sales. Is it right? We are giving discounts. Is it right? We are offering the discounts. Is it? When you offer the discounts, you offer the discounts to only those people who are having a good credit rating. This will have an approved list. This will be there in the master file. Now you see how many things will come into picture. That will be there in the master file, approved list. To the approved list we have to get, and you have to get what? All the time you have to get authorization. That's the simple way to ensure that goods and services are only, this you have to write. This you have to write where? In control. What it says? Authorization of credit terms to suppliers. Who has to give this? A senior staff. We have done one question where a junior clerk is doing all the things. Understand what? That is a deficiency. References should be there. Credit checks will be there. For whom? For new customers. And more importantly, there should be a regular review of credit limits. When we say it's a regular review, it may be every 3 months, every maximum every 6 months. Why we are saying 3 months? Because usually they will have a 90 days credit period. See, you have to have a command over these terms and conditions. You are not only talking about the audit, you are talking about the entire system as such. Yes, why we are saying it is a credit terms 90? No, nobody will give more than 90 days. Every 6 months, every 3 months there should be there. Authorization by the senior staff required for changes to other customer data and addresses. Any changes has been happening. Got my point? Any changes you are doing, for the changes also they should need some authorization. Means a junior staff cannot do changes. Got my point? A junior staff cannot do changes. Orders not accepted unless credit limits are reviewed first. See, you have 4 customers. One customer will have 600, one customer will have 700, one customer will have 800, one customer will have 300. Immediately order is placed. Is it right? Immediately order is placed. It should reflect against or by the customer what is the credit balance. See, the moment, as simple as that, the moment you are using the credit card, immediately it will come message, you have used for 25 reals, the balance is 300 reals. You have used for 25 real, the balance is 275 reals. Got my point? We cannot use a credit card more than available limit. Understand what? This is where it says. Your orders should not accept unless that there is a credit limits are reviewed. For these 1, 2, 3, there are test of controls. It's very easy. I am saying this. You have to be, you have to plan very mechanically, very scientifically. Review entry procedures for granting credit to customers. We are only reviewing, is it right? We are not doing anything. As an auditor, what you will do? You will review the entry procedures, how they are granting, what is the criteria. Is that what is the criteria or what is the basis? Examine a sample of sales orders for whether they have a proper credit approval or not. By whom? By the senior staff member. Whenever there is a approval has to be done by the senior staff only. Authorization and approval. Is that? I see when you are revising the things, these colors are very important. Got my point? These colors are very important. These are the keywords. Approval by the senior member. Examine application controls. Application controls are by the users. It is not by the IT. Okay? It is not by the IT. It is by whom? It is by the users. It is where we are working application control. We are using application control with respect to what? Financial data. Review all new customers. Very important. If a new customer is added, that there is a good reference is there. Is that we will not take new customers on the face value. Okay? We will not take any new customer on the face value. We will judge, we will assess references, because ultimately we are talking in terms of giving the credit. Selling on credit, it is not so easy. If there is references, sometimes maybe initially they will not give credit, but they will have the things. Now you understand what is the controls, what is the objective, controls, test of controls. Is it this simple 1, 2, 3? Is that objectives, controls and test of controls. What is the control objective with respect to assertion? To ensure that goods and services are provided at authorized prices and authorized terms. Is that we cannot see when you are entering quantity. See there, what we'll do? First you enter code 9211, and then they will have a quantity. You will have quantity. Is it right? Price we cannot enter price. Automatically price will be displayed. What will happen? The amount will come here. What we are entering? We are entering the code. We are entering the quantity. Price they will take it from the source file. Is it? Means we are talking about authorized prices. Author means there should not be more, there should not be a less. What happens? What is the control? To achieve this objective, the control means the authorized price list and specified terms of trade in place. You should have a authorized price list. What you are doing on that, in simple way, you are verifying the price list. Whether it is properly documented, properly authorized and properly communicated. Very simple. See, I will tell you this same example. McDonald's. When you go to the drive-through, there will be prices displayed. You take the app, prices are displayed. Understand point? Prices will be displayed. You take any product, you take any service, prices will be there. Standard price list. Is it right? They will give discounts, they will give offers, that's a different case. but the list prices will be there. Examine application control for authorized prices. How authorized prices will be taken into consideration. What is the control objective here? To know the authorized prices and authorized terms. What are the controls? Whether authorized price list exists or not. What are the test of controls? You are verifying the price list. Whether it is documented, whether it is authorized, whether it is communicated. Is it? No. The second one. Here what we are, till now we are talking about occurrence. Is that? We are talking about the next part is we are taking into consideration completeness. How you say that it has to see? Very simple. Is it right? don't. Is that very simple? Delivery. Once delivery is done, dispatch is done against the invoice, then only sales will be done. Is that what it says? To ensure that all revenue goods related to goods dispatched is recorded. Accounting for numerical sequence. They always talk about this. You remember this. Marks will be there on your fingertips. Yeah, marks will be there on the fingertips. Is that sequence of invoices? Means it should be what? It should be systems generated. It should be system generated. When you go through the questions, I will give you the reference of this. What is the test of controls? Procedures for accounting, review and test procedures with respect to numerical sequence of it. You take say sample of invoices and see that yes, you start with 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Fine. You will get one assurance you will get. You are ensuring that the process is right. What is the completeness? The complete to ensure that goods and services are correctly invoiced. As simple as that. Is that? See, we are going to a retail mart. Is it right? You are going to, I will say you are going to Center Point. Is it right? When you there the things, they will bill the amount. Is it right? They will bill the amount. See, very simply. It's not people don't think that we will check whether it is there as per the requirements or not. Is it? Whether they have done as per the. Forget about that. You are ordering food. You are ordering now. Everything is delivered at your doorstep. Is it right? You are ordering something. They will come and deliver. What you will do? You will see the invoice. Is it right? And you see the invoice and you will see the goods. You see the amount. Is it right? It's not like that. Nobody can say they will not do this. Every other person will do this. To ensure that all goods and services are sold correctly or invoiced. The shipping documents, the dispatch documents is matched. What we have shipped and what we have dispatched. Is it right? Means what happens usually, you will have different copies. Is it right? You will have one accounting copy. Is it right? You will have customer's copy. Is it right? You have store's copy. You have one document, but you have different copies. You will match with one with another. Sales invoices are reconciled on daily reports, daily sales. Reconciliation is very important. Is it? You are doing the reconciliation. An open order file is maintained and reviewed regularly. What is the open order file? You always keep options open. Is it right? You always make it a point that if anything we have not completed, which has been incompleted, which has been not dispatched, which has been not delivered, it happens. Is it right? You are going to the customer place, customer will not be there, definitely you get it back. Is it right? That you have to maintain and review regularly. What it says, is it an open order file means it is nothing but, see the things, it is nothing but, we are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of unfilled orders. Control objective is there, is it? Control shipping and documentation is matched. What you are doing? For a sample. We are not taking, we are taking for a sample of shipping documents to inspect, to ensure that each has been matched related to sales invoice and subsequently recorded. Review a sample of reconciliations. Okay, fine, you are doing reconciliation. What is the job of the auditor? The job of the auditor is to review. I will upload this file today, okay, on Google Drive as early possible. By tomorrow, I will upload tomorrow file. Is that day-to-day basis I will upload it and I will replace it, because in Google Drive you have 15 GB, I have to manage it. You download it. If there is a possibility, buy one extended hard disk. I have done this. Understand point? I will show you this. I have done something like this. Is it right? One you have take one hard disk. It 1 TB. Okay. You store all the videos in that hard disk. It will be easy for you to review whenever it's possible. Fine. Now, accuracy. Third one. Is it right? The first one is occurrence and existence. The second one is completeness. The third one is accuracy. What you are doing. The objective is you have to make sure that, is that to ensure that all sales and adjustments are correctly generalized, summarized and posted. Means they have recorded, is it? They have recorded, they have summarized and they are posted in what? Posted in the day sales book. Is it? That is the accuracy. Accuracy is not at one place. Accuracy means it has to be, you have to write a general entry, you have to make the summary of that account and you have to post it simultaneously. This happens nowadays. It happens at one point, okay? It happens in not in there. The moment you are doing a barcode scanner, everything is done. Understand what? There is a general entry, there will be summarization, there will be a posting. What you are doing as an auditor, sales invoices are matching and matching documents required for all entries. We have to make sure that it has to be have a date and reference of the entity are written on each document. Date is important. Is it right? See the thing. You will have the date and you will have the reference number. This is the control. Is it right? Some customer will ask and say that yes, what happened? Immediately you say that which date, what is your reference number, what is the invoice number. You just track that, you will extract that document. That is the accuracy. Is it right? Test of controls. What you are doing? Where is review supporting documents. You are just reviewing for a sample of sales entry to know that whether the return details indicate are being referred or not. What is the objective? Generalization, summarization and posting. Control is you have to have a date and reference number. Is it right? So that it will be easy to match the documents. Test of control means you are reviewing supporting documents for a sample of sales entry. Fourth one, cutoff. Again, what are the things what we have done? The first one is what? The first one is occurrence and existence. I will ask you this. The second one is what? The second one is completeness. The third one is what? The third one is accuracy. The fourth one is what? The fourth one is cutoff. The thing is you have to write, you have to cut off. The cutoff is nothing but, keep it in mind, 31st December, 31st or month end. Either you are talking in terms of month end or you are talking in terms of year end. Any system you take, the moment you cut off, it is a general indication. To ensure that the transactions have reported in the correct period. As simple as that. Is that if it happened in December, you have to record in December. All shipping documents, what happens? Usually sales will be in December. Is it right? Sales will be in December. It will happen. Dispatch will be in January. Is that dispatch? Forget about dispatch. We are talking about the sales. It should be recorded in the month of December. It should not be recorded in the month of January. Is that what we have to do? All shipping documents is forwarded to the invoicing on what basis? On daily basis. We should not delay it. Fine. Nowadays it is automation. It will be done not on daily basis. It is done on what? It is done on real time basis. Daily invoicings of goods are shipped. Day to day basis we have to reconcile. We have to evaluate it. Compare dates, is it right? On sales invoices with dates corresponding to what? Shipping. What is the date on sales and what is the date on shipping? Which is more important? Sales invoices is important. Compare dates on sale invoices with dates recorded in the sales ledger. Now, if you take the concept of cutoff, what is the most important thing? Date of recording. Cutoff means only this. Anywhere, any scenario, any case, cutoff means only this. That you have to think about month end, we have to think about daily basis, either in daily basis or in monthly basis or in yearly basis, depending on the situation. Now, what we are doing, we are talking in terms of what? Classifications. Is it right? We are talking in terms of classification. To ensure that all transactions are classified in accounts. See, when we say the things, what will happen? Every product will have item code. Is it? Every product will have item code. That is what classification of the accounts. Is it right? We will talk about the things. You will have sales. Sales will have different products, multiple products. You will have multiple products, but every product will have a unique item code. This is nothing but classification. This is nothing but class. Chart of accounts. Understand what? Chart of accounts in place, which is going to be regularly reviewed and updated. You have the item codes in place for different products and services. What is the classification of transaction? Classification of transaction is based on what? Chart of accounts. Classification of transaction is based on what? in terms of item codes. Classifying, is it right? How, which product, which service it is. Inspect, as an auditor, what you have to do, you have to inspect a documentary evidence, such as emails requesting update to charter of accounts as a result of review. If there is any update, again there should be a documentation. Any changes in the chart of accounts. What you are doing? We are test application controls for proper codes is there or not. Cutoff is different, is it right? Cutoff is different, and the classification is different, is it right? Here what I am writing, here I am adding here, is it right? Classification. It should be on your fingertips, okay? It should be on your fingertips. Fine? That much is there. Very simple. That much is there. We are not talking about anything, is it right? What are the you have to make it. The occurrence, completeness, accuracy, cutoff, and classification. Control objective, controls, test of controls. What it says in the examination, is it? They will ask you in section B. Is it? Section B, is it? The most typical requirement you have to identify the deficiencies, and you have to give what? You have to give recommendations with respect to test of control. The best way to present is in the table form. Don't forget the use, that's a different case, okay? Are you clear about this? Yeah? Test of controls are very likely to be examined, as the examiner want to see students understand difference between what? The test of control and substantive test. There is area of confusion is difference between control objectives. Yeah? In another area of confusion is the difference. Yeah, we have done. The first one is control objective, the second one is controls, and the third one is test of controls. Control objective will tell you what we are doing. We have to always start. See the thing. You follow this guidelines. Nothing is difficult for you. Take my word. People don't do this. I am telling you now. People will not do this to ensure that. Controls are the process in place to achieve control objectives. What are the controls? You are having bank reconciliation statement. What is the test of controls? You are going to review it. If you are reviewing it, it is a test of control. If there is a bank reconciliation, it is a control. Test of controls are carried by the auditor. Who will do the test of controls? Test of controls are carried by the auditor to gain evidence. The auditor would inspect all the bank reconciliations for the year to see if they have been done every month or not. Is it right? This is the simplest way. You should read these points. This is very important. Is that how you have to approach the examination, what we want, how we have to do it. Is that they will not see the language, they will see the content. Very important. Of course, at this stage, everybody will have a good way of presentation. I'm not talking about that. But they see whether you have understand the difference between the control objective, control, and test of control. Don't forget, okay? On Saturday class is very important. Saturday I will take the section B. Section B, I will do any question, whatever we have done till now. Understand? Saturday class is very important. Every class is important. Saturday is important. Next 4 weeks, Just focus on here. What happens? Purchases. Same process. Understand the process. Is it right? When you are talking about the purchases, what will happen? First you have to raise the request. Is it right? Some of you are working. Is it right? You have to place the request. Then purchase department will raise the purchase order. And they will send to whom? They will send it to the account department. Purchasing department raise the orders and send to the account. Accounts, what will happen? Definitely, if they will receive the goods. Is that we are talking in terms of inventory? Is it right? They receive the goods and it will be sent to whom? It's sent to the production department. Is that? Now, this is very important. Goods received note, GRN. I think somewhere I have told you that I am going to give reference for this. Is that? Goods received note, goods delivery note. Goods received note is for purchases. Goods delivery note is for sales. Fine. Next. See, put the numbers. It will be very easy. Is it? Don't complicate this. Don't write more than what you need. Is it right? This is 3A. This is 3B. Then you receive goods. Once you have receiving the goods, account department matches with goods received note. How much you have invoiced? Is it right? What is the purchase invoice? Is it purchase invoice? And what is the goods received? Purchase invoice and goods received should match. Record an account for the invoice. Then only what they will do? They will record it. They will send it to the payment and supplier will extend credit in future. If you are paying on time, definitely they will continue the sales. This is the simplest of the simplest procedure whenever you talk about the purchases. Same process. Understand? It's now same, very simple and very same process. Nothing is difficult. Now, I will never say difficult. Difficult. See, the word should not be there. Challenging. Challenging will be there. Now, follow the same process. Is it? Follow. Nothing is. We don't find major change. Okay. That is the first one. I am very slow. We will not find major. To ensure that the purchases represents what? Goods and services received. How to ensure that recorded purchases is what we have received, that has to be recorded. Is it? What we have to receive, that has to be recorded. As simple as that. Is it? As simple as that. What are the controls? Is it? Authorization procedure and policies. Whenever we purchase, it has to be done by the author. You should have authorization procedure. Is it? Only authorized person. Okay? Only authorized person should approve. Again, same process is there. One person should place the order, one person should record it, one person should forward it. Segregation of duties. Purchase orders raised for each purchases are authorized by appropriate senior person. Whenever there is a authorization, the authorization has to be done by whom? seen. This applies to all. You will not find anything, is that? This applies to all. It is a general statements which we can use in every case as such. Segregation of duties, authorization, approved purchase order for each receipt of goods. Whenever you are receiving the goods, the receive of goods should have approval. Whatever we have done in the previous case. Staff receiving the goods, check them to the purchase order. Means everything, if you are receiving the goods, it has to be checked against our purchase order, whether how much we have purchased and how much we are receiving. Store clerks sign because it is what happening? It is the inventory. It is the inventory. Now the goods are entering the stores. The moment it is entered by the stores, who has to sign the things? Stores clerk. And purchase orders and GRNs are matched. What is the how much orders we have placed and how much we have goods received. The purchase orders and the goods received note should be same. If there is a scenario, is it right? If there is a scenario, you say occurrence, you will write these points with basic explanation. That is more than enough. Is it? That's more than enough. You write simple thing. Little bit you have to write. Again I am saying, you have to write your quizzes. Quizzes are very important. Again I am going to place the quiz this Thursday. Is that? I want to know quiz number 3. Who has done, who has not done. Just send me the message who has done with time and send me the message who have not done. And for people who have not done, I will open the link again. I want to make sure that I want to record your progress, how it's happening. What is the test of controls? Is it? We are talking is a test of control. Inspect policies and procedures in place. Whether the policies and procedures regarding what? Regarding the authorization. Is it regarding what? Regarding the authorization. You have to evaluate whether there are segregation or not. This is the test of controls is the job of whom? It is the job of the auditor. Is that? You have to observe and evaluate segregation. Examine a sample of purchase orders and say that those purchase orders has been authorized or not. Is that? You have to examine a sample of purchase orders. Is it? Next, review the delegated list of authority for purchases. Who has the authority just to go through it. For a sample of goods received note, again you have to match with the purchase order. For a sample, to ensure that yes, the good whatever the purchase order is there, the same we are receiving and it has been approved. Observed receipt of goods by staff to confirm that check is done. How the staff is receiving the goods. Inspect a sample. How the store staff undertake this check. Inspect a sample, that yes, how the store's person is receiving the goods. And more importantly, you have to examine what? Supporting documents, if any. And it should not match with what? Sample of invoice. Supporting documents are, sometimes they will give specifications. Is it right? Sometimes they will give what? They will give some specifications. Sometimes they will give what? They will give some instructions. Is it right? Sometimes they will give some instructions. And we have to, any instructions or specifications has been given. This is where we are talking in terms of what? Occurrence and existence. completeness. Completeness means when we say completeness, you see it will not change. The most important thing that matters to completeness means it has to be recorded. Then only it will be complete. Is it right? Then only it will be complete. What we are doing, how we are going to have controls with respect to completeness, purchase orders and GRNs. See, purchase order, this is what we have to make sure. Is it right? You have the purchase orders and you have the GRNs are matched with the supplier's invoice. Is it right? See the thing. Now you can understand. For suppliers, this will be receivables. For us, is it right? For us, it will be what? It will be payables. You have to match with supplier's invoice what they have supplied and what we have purchased. Is that what we have? What is the order we have placed and what is the order they have supplied? It has to match. Periodic accounting of pre-numbered GRNs. Always we have to randomly check the sequence. Is it right? In the previous case also, we have done the sequence. Is it right? You have to pre-numbered GRNs. Independent check of amount recorded in the journal. Purchase orders should match with GRNs and with the supplier's invoice. You have to take into consideration the pre-numbered GRNs to make sure that, see, pre-numbered GRNs, completeness, we are talking about completeness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If anything is missing, it means it is incomplete. Any number is missing, it is incomplete. Fine. That is the reason we are having control with respect to pre-numbered invoices. Independent checks of amount recorded in the journal. Same thing, as simple as that. Now you will have an idea. Is it right? For sample of purchase orders, is it right? For the sample of purchase orders, you are ensuring that each has been matched with the related invoice. Goods received note. When we are talking about pre-numbered invoices, pre-numbered documents, again what you are doing? We are reviewing the procedures. What we are doing, the third one is what? Take the independent checks. Is it right? On the amount recorded. What we are doing? Independent checks is nothing but it is a application control. I told you yesterday, we are not going to talk anything more specifically about the general IT controls. Is that right? We are very much concerned about application controls. When you are reviewing the yesterday's lecture 7B, very clearly focus little bit on application controls. Twice, okay? Now, when you are talking about the purchases, is that you have say rights and obligations, is that to ensure that purchase represents the liabilities. Is that what happens when you are talking about the purchases? It will leads to what? It will leads to payables. Is that now what happens? We are talking one side payables. Is it right? We are another side what the suppliers? It is the receivables. The receivables and payables should match. There should be a reconciliation. That's the most important thing. Is it right? The receivable. This is nothing but we are talking in terms of controls accounts. Every customer will have a separate account. See, as simple as that. You bank, is it right? Every deposit holder, current savings accounts are current. Everyone have a separate account. It is nothing but in simple terms, it is a control account. Bank will send you the statement. Is it right? Bank you send you the statement at the end of the month, and you should agree with the statement. Is it right? You should agree with the statement as such. Yeah, that the same process. For purchases it is payables, for the suppliers it is receivable. Examine supporting documents to ensure that it has been matched with the invoices. Got it? This is the right. Rights and obligations is nothing but rights in obligation with respect to payables and receivables. We are talking about accuracy classification. Classification, what I told you about classification. Classification is in terms of what? Classification in terms of item codes. Accuracy in terms of what? In terms of totals. Is that valuation is in terms of what? Valuation is in terms of amount. Now you don't need, you have very good idea. First thing is we are slow. Now to ensure that the transactions are correctly recorded in the accounting system. What we are talking about? We are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of mathematical accuracy. We are talking in terms of what? Chart of accounts. We are talking in terms of what? In terms of the totals. First and foremost, the purchase and goods received note should be matched with whom? Should be matched with suppliers. Is that? Should be matched with what? Once it is there, you have to see mathematical accuracy. The first substantive procedure. Okay, the first substantive procedure is mathematical. Is it? Then you have to talk about the accounts, and when you are talking about the classification, this comes where chart of accounts comes in terms of what? Classification of transactions. What is the test of controls? Examine supporting documents for the sample of invoices. Is it? In order to have the accuracy, you have to re-perform the check. For the amounts, you have to re-perform. Is that? For what you have to do? They say very simple. Is that what we are talking about? We are talking about the reconciliation of the purchase ledger. What we have to do? We have to make a reconciliation. Review reconciliation. See, they are not talking anything about any detail. They are just giving you just a framework of understanding. Here, review reconciliation for what? Evidence. Review purchase general and general ledger. Is it? Why we are talking about in terms of chart of accounts? Okay, in terms of what? Whether the chart of accounts has been accurate or not. Chart of accounts. System. Is that? Now I don't want to say much more on that. Is it right? We are talking in terms of what? We are talking in terms of cutoff. Cutoff is same thing. We are taking into consideration the correct accounting period. They all goods reports forwarded to the accounts payable, and they have been recording of purchases as soon as possible after goods has been received. How we are going to have test of controls? What the auditor will do? Auditor will compare the dates. Compare the dates, is right? They will compare the dates on the reports, and they will compare the dates on the what? On the vouchers. Dates on the vouchers should be matched with the dates on the reports. Compare dates on the vouchers with dates that were recorded in the general. The moment we say, I am saying this repeatedly, the moment we said cutoff is nothing but cutoff is related to the date. Don't say dates, only date. Okay. Is it right? We will do this. Is it December 10, December 10 and December 10 and June 13th. Okay. Can we do June 2013 question now? We'll get immediately, we will understand what is there or not. Okay. Where is that? Yes. Deficiency in the purchase systems. Requirement of deficiencies. Do not produce a covering letter unless it is specifically asked. We will work through the June 13 question. Okay. It is there here only. Fine. Yesterday we have done. Is it right? Where is that June 13? June 13 question. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday we have done. Alhamdulillah. Good. Is it right? Yesterday we have done with respect to GH. It has been given. Okay. So no, don't worry about that. 1 minute. 1 minute. Is it right? We have done this. Okay, fine. Are you clear about this? Are you clear about what we have done? We are talking about the sales, we are talking about the purchases. Now we will do inventory and we'll stop. Okay, we'll do inventory and we'll stop. How the things will work. Is it right? There are three approaches to the auditor of inventory, and the approaches depends on the controls. Is it right? See, when you are talking about the inventory, see it right? Inventory is very sensitive, very sensitive. Most of the times, if you ask 5 question papers, at least 2 times they will give inventory. Is it right? What is the approach? There is a perpetual inventory, continuous inventory. Is it right? There is a continuous perpetual. There will be inputs, there will be outputs all through the time. Is it right? And other one is inventory count near year end. Is it near year end? And the other last one is there is a year end count. Is that there is a year-end count. Means there are three different ways. The first one is continuous inventory. Continuous inventory is as simple as that. Is that in most of the cases there will be always inputs and there is always inflow and outflow. Is it right? Always inflow and outflow. In perpetual inventory, what will happen? We will take into consideration the packing date. We will take into consideration the expiry date. Is it right? Always moving. Is it always moving? The second approach the auditors will take is what? Near the year end, not at the year end. Is it right? Near the year end means they become active in October, November. As simple as that. Is that they will act near the year. The moment they'll come across, they will focus more on October and November. And the third one is they are only concerned about what? They are only concerned about 31st December 31st. What is the closing balances? Closing balance of inventory. Fine. Now, if you take the things, is it? Listen, understand very carefully. Very simple, very easy to work it out. To ensure that all inventory movements are authorized and recorded. Inventory is moving from one department to another department. There should be authorization, there should be a recording. Here also, here we are talking in terms of sending. Here they are talking in terms of receiving. Inventory is very simple. Pre-numbered documentation. Control is what? There should not be manual documentation. Okay? There should never be a manual documentation. Always there should be a pre-numbered documentation. See the thing. One is goods delivery note and one is goods received note. Here I am writing, is that goods delivery note, GDN, and goods received note. Goods delivery note is related to sales, goods received note is related to purchases. Goods delivery note is related to sending, goods received note is related to receiving. All through the time there should be reconciliation. This is one of the controls. Controls are what? Controls are related to pre-numbered documentation, controls are related to reconciliation, and controls are related to segregation of duties. Is it? Controls are related to segregation of duties as such. Fine. Now, when you make it a point, is it right? When you are making it a point, I understand point? Sorry. Pre-numbered documentation, reconciliation and segregation. Is that whenever the pre-numbered document, see the same process will work. Review documentation. Is that? Review documentation. When there is a reconciliation, review reconciliation. Is that? Review a sample of reconciliation. When you are talking about the segregation of duties, you have to observe and evaluate proper segregation of duties. Now you understand? Now it will be much clear. Is it? Much. Initially you will find it little bit. Initially anything, the idea, it will take little bit time to get the idea. Once you get the idea, it is very smooth for our understanding. Is it right? You should have, for every control there should be a test of. This is the difference. Control objective is to ensure. Control is to have the in place. Test of controls is to make whether to see they are effective or they are not effective. Occurrence and existence, is it right? See, I will do one thing, okay? Do one thing. Who is doing? Somebody has to help me. Not help me, help yourself, okay? Help yourself. Is it right? What we have done? We have done sales. Is it right? Similar to this. See, it makes sense. Is it right? I will tell this to every last batch also, every other batch I will tell. You have the sales, you have the purchases. Is it right? You have the inventory. Is it right? You have all other things. Take horizontal paper. Okay. Now what you will do? You put one lines here. Is it right? See the things. I will give you a shortcuts how to score marks. Is it right? Here what you have to write? You have to write the occurrence. Existence. Is it right? Occurrence and existence. Is it right? You have what? You have cutoff. Is it right? And you have what? You have rights and obligations. Is it right? Rights and obligations. And you have what? You have occurrence and existence. Another is there, you have accuracy. Is it right? You have accuracy. You have completeness. Is it right? You have completeness. Who will write? Who will send? I will. It's you are helping to everyone. Is that now sales? Sales you will have occurrence and existence. Is it right? Sales you have cutoff. Is it right? Sales you have accuracy. Sales you have completeness. Fine. Purchases you will have, assume this. Is it purchases have rights and obligations? Is it right? Purchase will have this. Then automatically if you have this, then you will make sure that which things comes in the which category. This is nothing but the control objective. Automatically you will be easy to have controls. You are easy to have test of controls. Make a report, make a chart like this. See, now you have to summarize the thing slowly and steadily. Is it right? Slowly and steadily you have to revise what we have done. What it says, to ensure that the inventory in the statement of financial position is physically exist. Is it right? That's very simple. That's what it says. Now, what is the controls? You have to ensure that inventory is not stolen. Is that you have to ensure there is a security for that. You have a separate responsibility, segregation of duties, one for maintenance and one for custodianship. Maintenance in terms of the means one has to handle the inventory, one has to keep safe the inventory. Is it right? In security way. Inventory should be counted on a regular basis. Either you can put it on daily, you can put it on weekly, maximum you can put it on monthly basis. What is the test of controls? Again the same. When we are talking about the physical safeguards, review the security as such. Is that review the security? When you are having separate responsibility, review the policies that is relevant to the staff. When you are talking about the inventory counted, is it right? When you are talking about the inventory counted, review the procedure of counting inventory. And most importantly, this they will ask, attend inventory count. Ask the client when there is inventory count. During the inventory count, you go and attend the inventory count. Is it? Now, is it? What it says in terms of completeness. I will complete this and I'll stop. Okay, I don't want to push for the next one. Is it? Tomorrow, inshallah, we will do the next three. Is it? By this time, you have a good understanding about the control objective, the controls, and the test of control. Done. 12 to 15 marks, it is there in your hands. To ensure that all purchases and sales inventory has been recorded in the accounting system. Completeness. Unless you don't enter into an accounting system, it is not going to say that it is completed. I will give a hint to you. Every objective it will be start to ensure with. Every ensure, you are ensuring, you are making an assertion that the sales and purchases has been recorded. Because what happening whenever we are talking in terms of inventory, is it? Inventory will be there, you will purchase, inventory get affected, you will making a sale, this is going to be the inflow and this is going to be the outflow. That is the reason, okay, that is the reason inventory is so important. Is that is the reason. We are not talking, in the previous cases we have done only for sales, is it right? In first we have done only for sales, then we have done only for purchases. But when we are coming back to the inventory, we are taking into consideration both purchases and sales. Procedures in place to include that inventory held at third parties. Procedures to include inventory held at third party and exclude inventory held on consignment. See what will happen most of the time, there is you have placed the order, is it right? You have placed the order, is it right? When you have placed the order, definitely it will take time. The inventory should be recorded when there is a goods received note. The inventory should be excluded when there is a goods delivery note. See, since till you didn't deliver, is it? You didn't deliver, the responsibility will be with you. Is it? The responsibility is with you. Fine. Till you didn't receive, you don't have, see, goods received note. What we have done? We have done with respect to rights and obligation. Is it? That's what it says. Means you should make it sure that whether it is related to sales or it is related to purchases, unless until it is not delivered, it is your responsibility. Unless until it is not received in good condition. In good condition, you should not undertake it. What it says, you have to make a reconciliation. Reconciliation is with what? Reconciliation is with the records. You have to reconcile with the physical inventory. Records with the physical, very important. What is there in the physical and what is there in the records. See, reconciliation also, in most of the cases, it is part of the completeness. It is the part of the completeness. What is the test of controls? Review entity procedures with respect to inventory. Is it right? Review whatever the procedures are there. You have to review the procedures and held at third parties. Is it right? Or we are having a consignment for third party. Means this is with respect to sales and this is with respect to what? This is with respect to purchases. Yeah. Automatically what we have to do? We have to have a reconciliation review the reconciliation. Whether reconciliation has been done, performed, reviewed by a independent person. Means a third person. Okay? That is with respect to what? Completeness. You have rights and obligation, valuation, and you have the cutoff as such. Is it right? 1 minute. The moment, if it is done, just tell me, okay? If you find it exhausted, plus tell me. Otherwise, I will complete it. You have the option, okay? What is the rights and obligations? To ensure that inventory records only those include that belong to the entity. Is it when you are purchasing? Is it right? You are talking in terms of goods received note. You have the right. Is it right? You have the ownership. If sometimes what will happen? See the thing. You have the inventory, but you have the inventory, and the inventory is owned by you, owned by the firm. Is that owned by the firm? But incidentally, the inventory will be at the where? At the third party. If any inventory is owned by you, but it is at the third party, the rule says that you have to include it. And any inventory which has been for the consignment to, means any inventory is consignment to the third parties, belongs to the third parties, you have to exclude it. Is that anything we have purchased but it is at the other place, purchased and paid, you have to include it. Anything we have sold it, you have to exclude it. That is the control what we have to. Sometimes what will happen, you have sold today, you will dispatch tomorrow. You received cash, done deal. Once you have received cash, you have to keep that inventory separately. That should not be there in the inventory count. Review procedures with respect to what? With respect to the consignment. Whether we are receiving or we are delivering. Understand what? Very important. Why I am saying very important? Little bit thinking point. Is it right? If it is held by third parties, you have purchased it, but that inventory is still you have not received. You purchased, you paid. It has to be included, and you have sold it. Is it right? You have sold it. You have received the amount. It has to be excluded. In terms of accuracy, classification, again classification is item codes. Okay. In terms of accuracy, mathematical accuracy. In terms of amount, in terms of valuation, in terms of amount. To ensure that inventory quantities have accurately determined. Periodic and annual comparison of inventory with amounts, valuation. Is it right? In terms of valuation shown in the continuous inventory records. What is the test of control? You have to review those procedures taken by the entity. What is the control? Control is most importantly periodic or annual comparison. Is it periodic or annual comparison? Is it? Now, Continuation to that, what it says that the ensure that the inventory is properly stated. What it says, is it? Now we are talking in terms of what? IS2. IS2 talks about the lower the cost or net realizable value. Is it? Net realizable value means whenever we are talking in terms of accuracy, when you are making a valuation, is it right? When you are making the valuation, you have to value as per the accounting standards. Standard cost should be reviewed by the management all the time. Review the cost accumulation and variance reports. If there is any difference between the standard price and actual price, is it right? Any variance reports are there, you have to do it on a periodical basis. That's what, see, why we are doing this. See, you are buying one inventory on 1st of January 2022. The price is what? Per unit will be how much? Per unit will be, assume that per unit will be 150. You are buying the same inventory on 1st of March, is it right? The price will be how much? The price will be 165. You are buying the inventory on 1st of July. The price of the inventory, assume that it is going to be 135. Definitely in this process, what will happen? There will be variances. Is that inventory managers review inventory regularly to identify what is the slow moving, what is the outdated, obsolete, and what is the excess inventory. Is that's what we have to make sure, that we have to evaluate the things, how it has to be done. What is the slow moving, what is the obsolete, and what is the excess inventory. This is done by whom? This is done by the management. Is it right? Now what the auditor will do? They will review the standard cost. What the auditor will do? They will review the variance reports, inspect the variance reports. What the auditor will do? They will discuss with the managers. They discuss with the managers how this is done and what is the procedure in terms of accuracy, classification, and valuation. Cut off. Is it right? Now you don't need that much. Is it right? To ensure that all purchases and sales are recorded in the correct accounting period. Is it? What we are doing, cut off, is nothing but we are going to have a daily to record. Is that we are talking about on a daily basis. All goods process, all dispatch documents on daily basis, all received goods on a daily basis. Once we are doing the cutoff, means day to day basis we are going to work it out. Is it right? And we at the end we will make a reconciliation. Is it? This is what we are talking about. This is what we are, everywhere it is there, cutoff. Is it right? What you are doing? You will inspect the documentation and subsequently you will review the reconciliation. Just go through it, okay? This is little bit heavy, okay? I'm telling you this. This is little bit heavy. Heavy means it is important as well as it needs, if you are revising other things once, you revise this one 2 times. Okay? That is my advice. Okay? In terms of presentation and disclosure. In terms of financial statements. Is that? Definitely you are making a classification. Is that? When you are making a classification, inventory is not only one amount will be one. Is it right? The amount will be one. But what will happen? If you take inventory, you will have number of inventories. Each will have a unique item code. Is that in the what we are showing in the financial statements? In the financial statements, we are showing only the amount, but we have inventory will be. You take just an example of the automobile. Is it automobile spares? Just imagine how much inventory they will have. Is it right? That's why inventory is very, very crucial. Is that what they say? Orders for materials and production data forms used to process goods through manufacturing. See, orders for materials, orders for production. Is that you have materials? Is that means you once first see what will happen when you are talking in terms of materials? Is that this is what you are receiving from outside. When you are talking in terms of production, is that this you are dispatching to another department. Is it? This you are dispatching to another department. You should have control. Means separate people should be there. Is it right? When you are talking in terms of this segregation of duties. Is it? Orders for materials and production data forms used to process goods through manufacturing. You have to maintain service. Review entity procedures, and most importantly documentation used to classify inventory. Classification of inventory in terms of what? In terms of item codes. Means which see, the moment you scan it, fine, is it right? You will have the barcode. Barcode reader will reflect the item name also. Is it? To what is the presentation and disclosure? We have to disclose to the classification and make it assured that the valuation is sufficient. Whenever we are making a presentation, whenever we are talking about a disclosure, what has to be done? Who has the control? The finance director will have control. Is that there is the ultimate, that's the last one, is that that's the last stage. And when you have the approval, you have to review the most importantly working papers. Working papers is nothing but the papers related to current year's audit. Is it fine? This is the question. See, June, December, June 12. Is it right? June, December, June 12. Is it right? First, tomorrow when we'll come back, is it right? When we'll come back, we will do one question on here. Okay? Any one question we will do first on inventory. Then we will start the bank and cash. Okay, I'm stopping. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I'm stopping. I know